Welcome back, middle school parents. With the recent blitz in the media on bullying, I thought it was only right that, of course, I put my 2 cents in because, after all, middle school is kind of where the crux of bullying is really happening. So let's talk. Let's talk not about the problem. Everybody knows about the problem. If you watch the recent media, you know that there's a huge problem. And if you talked with anybody at your school, you probably know there's a huge problem. So let's talk about solutions. So I had to, of course, go back to a parent's guide of the middle school year to see what I wrote there. So I want to share a few things with you. Number one, how do you know if your child is being bullied? Here's a couple of common signs. First, reluctance to leave home. If your child wakes up in the morning and they're more reluctant than they usually are to go to school, this could be a sign. And it's not a one-time thing. It's day after day after day with all the things I'm going to share with you. Number two, they're missing activities, things that they really used to enjoy, whether that's sports practice or it's something in the arts, or it's just getting together in a social setting with friends. If they don't want to do that, that could be a red flag for you. Number three, when all of a sudden your kids start to ask you to take them places in the car rather than taking the bus or going with friends. A lot of bullying situations happen in social settings where kids get together on the bus where there's a limited number of adults supervising. Another red flag for you. Finally, unexplained cuts or bruises. Even though a lot of bullying happening today is more verbal abuse than physical abuse, if your child can't explain where those bruises have come from, that should be another red flag to you. I want to throw one more thing at you. Number, what is this, 5 or 6? Decreasing academic performance. That's not scoring poorly on one test. That's a pattern over 2 to 3 weeks where suddenly the homework isn't getting turned in, a couple of test grades are poor. Then you have to start to ask the question. So this moves us really into the solution part of what I want to talk to you about today. You have to call on the members of your team. And who are those people? They're all the teachers that are in your child's life. They're the coaches. They're the mentors. Anybody who sees your child on a weekly basis, consider them to be part of your team. You need to get in touch with them and share your observations and then ask for theirs. Have you noticed anything different about my child over the past couple of weeks? Is there anything that you want to share with me? I kind of suspect that maybe bullying is an issue here. Try and get all the facts that you can, and when you do have all of that information, then you need to start talking to the people at the school, and in particular the administration, the principal, the vice principal, the dean, whoever you can get on the phone. You need to say, here's my concern. I think that my child may be being bullied. So, and then the question to ask is, what is the anti-bullying program or bully prevention program at our school? What happens when a child feels as though they're being bullied and they let somebody know? What is the course of action that needs to follow? You need to be aware of that so that things don't very quickly escalate out of control and your son or daughter doesn't feel safe going to school anymore. Once you have that information in place, then you've started to build a relationship with the school. Then you can really get to the heart of the matter so that your child ultimately feels safe, feels like they're being respected. And by respect, for me, it's very easy. Treat me in the same way that you want to be treated. If those two things are in place, then your child has a wonderful opportunity to actually learn something, right? The big idea of going to school, I want to be able to learn something. But if they're so concerned about being bullied or they feel so unsafe, that's not going to happen. So, couple of big tips for you today. I'm hoping that bullying, right, it's going to come down. I think with all the recent media attention, at least people are more aware than they were before. So please send any questions that you have, though. I'd love to work with you on this. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Take care of yourself.